do to all my motherfucking free game people out there, man. To all my goddamn FNB people out there, man. I hope y'all doing well today. It's a cold ass day. I'm sure it's cold everywhere around this time. You know what I'm saying? I'm in Mississippi though, so for it to be this cold, this is kind of crazy. Especially because yesterday it was like 70 degrees, so this shit kind of fucking me up. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I got something that I wanted to talk to y'all about. So what I was thinking about, I was listening to that Kendrick Lamar song called Real. You know that. I do what I want to do. I say what I want to say when I feel, you know what I'm saying? That shit right there. And the thought that continuously came through my mind is like, what are the things that make us feel real in the world that we live in? What are the things that make us feel like we exist in the world that we live in today, right? As people. So I believe that a lot of us search for validation because we don't feel that anything that we do is impactful. We don't feel that anything that we do is meaningful. We don't have the confidence. You know what I'm saying? As black people in America, our confidence has been attacked to a different extent. You know what I'm saying? And that was purposefully done. So because that has happened and we have had our confidence attacked so crazy, we are constantly seeking validation. Constantly. You can tell this just through looking at the internet. We are always looking for somebody to tell us that something is right. But yeah, we're constantly looking for things to validate our existence. At least that's how I understand it, because of the fact that we don't really feel too confident. You know, because confidence is very silent. And most black people well, I ain't gonna say most, because I ain't gonna say every black person is on the internet looking for validation. But I ain't even gonna say black people, because it's just people in general. Because a lot of people are just low in confidence. I don't want to just make this for black people, but I feel like black people are some of the most unconfident people in America. You know what I'm saying? And I feel that way is because I think it's just the truth. I think our confidence have been very, very strategically attacked to take away our belief in ourselves, which then cause you to look for outside validation, looking for things outside of yourself to confirm that what you're doing is right, or what you're doing makes sense, or what you're doing is important in any way. You know what I'm saying? And because of the fact that the next thing that go along with our low confidence is the fact that we have large egos, we are too afraid to admit that we are not confident. See what I'm saying? Well, a lot of us are afraid to admit that this is a form of insecurity. They like to just place it as, you know, oh no, this is just who I am and I do it for me, you know, and that's just your ego trying to hide behind itself because it's afraid to admit that it's not very secure in its existence. And you know, you trying to validate yourself to make you feel like you real in this world, and that what you do and what you say and the things that you think are important. You feel me? I think that's one of the biggest reasons that the internet is where it's at. Because as we've grown and we've seen more people's lives and more people's opinions, and we comparing ourselves, the confidence is going even lower. So now the need for validation is going up. You see what I'm saying? Now more people are doing more things for that validation, that external feeling of confidence, that external feeling of like importance is becoming more of a thing, because the internet has caused us to be a lot less confident. You know what I'm saying? And that's on top of the low confidence that people have already. So we are now in the stage where we are completely overcompensating. You know, most of us are doing big gestures online, or just trying to, you know, shine because we want to feel that confidence. You know what I'm saying? But yes, we are now in a stage where we are going to great lengths to feel that void of what makes us feel real. We trying to find something bigger because of the internet. And see, the thing is, because the confidence has gotten so low and the need for validation has grown so much, it's caused most of us to want to be like one another because we're afraid to step out more now than ever before, because the confidence is going so low and lower and lower and lower because the comparison rate has gone up. So it made it easier to convince people to be in line. It makes it easier to convince people to be all one and the same because nobody wants to feel the feeling of what they doing not being important because they're not confident in the fact that what they doing may be important or not. So people are a lot more afraid to be weird nowadays. You see what I'm saying? Or at least they're afraid to be weird in the ways that's not socially acceptable by the group. You feel me? Because most of us don't feel real. We don't feel like we are alive, my nigga. We don't feel like what we do is important. We don't feel like what we say is valid. We don't feel like, a lot of us don't feel like the things that we are doing makes us real. You see what I'm saying? You feel me? And so it's causing like a plethora of problems internally, which then is, you know, hold on. So yeah, it's causing a lot of problems that's manifesting in our realities because of the extreme low confidence within us. See what I'm saying? It's a shortage of self-love today. And a lot of us are afraid to love ourselves because we have now been conditioned through, I also feel like, you know, part of the conditioning is the fact of us getting likes and follows. That's conditioned us to now more than ever want to damn, I done lost my train of thought. Ain't that a bitch? All these people coming in and out this motherfucker, I done threw my thought off, man. These motherfuckers pissing me off with that shit. Oof. It's gonna come back, I'm sure of it. So yes, I gained it back. So yeah, through likes and follows, I think it's made it easier to condition us to not want to step out of line because you don't know if what you're gonna do gonna get that validation, that dopamine hit. But yes, again, I'm sorry, I gotta keep stopping the video. Motherfuckers out here being loud and shit. And for no reason. I don't even get why. It's late, it's cold. You know, when it's cold outside, you're supposed to be quiet and getting to your destination, getting what you need to get done, You know what I'm saying? This ain't no, when it's cold outside, ain't nothing to be loud about. Everything should be at inside voices, lower than inside voices, damn near, my nigga. When it's cold outside, nigga, motherfuckers, you know, the upper lip and the bottom lip need to be placed together, and you should be going to where you need to go, getting to your destination. Not many words need to be said, because it's cold outside. What the fuck you doing out here being loud for? You feel me? But through the conditioning with likes, comments, and shares, that dopamine hit and follows and shit like that, that dopamine hit, and not getting that from maybe you just being yourself and you just liking the things you like, can kind of also put you in line to not want to do those things, to not want to step outside of the box. You see what I'm saying? At least, and like I said, not stepping outside of the box in a way that's socially acceptable for whatever community you're a part of. Because communities, depending on your community that you're a part of as well, they'll also have their own socially acceptable things, and they also have their own like things that are okay, and what parts is okay to be weird in this way from depending on your community. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? And I think that's dangerous as well because it limits who you are. You putting yourself in a box. You know, we are people, and as people, you need to be layered, because that's how you have a big enough perspective to see the world in a proper way. You know what I'm saying? The bigger your perspective is, the more things, the more possible ideas that you are exposed to, and beliefs that you can be exposed to. The bigger your perspective, the more you can see, the more you understand. See what I'm saying? So I think, you know, Even if you know your group has an acceptance for you to be weird in a certain way, for you not to be able to be weird in all ways or any way that you want to be is also still kind of limiting in, you know, and who you can be and what you can possibly learn, you know, and just allowing your authentic light to shine. You feel me? Because at the same time, it's still some barriers you can't cross depending on your group because you're afraid of judgment, you know, because you don't want to feel like you're not real and you don't want to not be validated. That validation and to some extent confirms your existence to you. Is that outside validation? It confirms your existence, because when you feeling lonely and nobody is confirming your existence through validation, you kind of feel like you invisible and like nobody see you. You feel me? So a lot of us are going through that, I believe. And I believe that the only way to properly counteract that is self-love and acceptance. All right, we just gonna walk over here. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. So yeah, I don't even know. Oh yes, I do know what I was saying. I do believe the way to counteract that is unwavering self-love. You know, love is not boastful. It's not something that you got to show, and it's not possessive. You don't, you know. I love myself, but I'm not attached to any ideas because I understand who I am. I understand that I am a layered individual. I understand that these layers allow me to see that I can be anything, and I am almost everything if I choose to be. You know, there is some things that naturally I gravitate towards, and that's with anybody, because we all have our natural things that we pull towards just for, you know, whatever reasons that I won't necessarily get into now. But nigga, we are layered. You know, I am me, and I am an extension of nature. And nature has no right edges, so I cannot put myself in a box. There is no 90-degree angles in nature, to my knowledge. I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? Don't get on this motherfucker talking about, well, actually, if you look at this, I don't know. But when every time I look at a tree, that motherfucker is going in all different directions. There's little branches, big branches, medium-sized branches, one going this way, one going that way. And you know what I'm saying? There is no necessary order to it in the way that we perceive order. So why would I put order to myself in the way that they trying to tell me to, that I gotta be this in order for me to be real, in order for me to be validated from outside people that don't feel real within themselves. You see what I'm saying? It just don't make sense. That doesn't make sense to me. And because I started to think that, it allows me to let go of a lot of ego-based thoughts that I only hold because of fear of judgment or fear of rejection from the group. And one thing I learned, and one of the best lessons I've ever learned, is the only way to get past judgment is to not give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell y'all a story about one of my good friends. This is my dog. Love this nigga. You know what I'm saying? My boy. He is a advocate, a motherfucking strong advocate for eating booty. I'm not lying. I'm not joking. This nigga made up a whole thing called EBG. I'm sure y'all can guess what that means, but if you can't, it means Eat Booty Gang. This nigga is an advocate for it. Like he won't like it don't go a day that I see him and I don't hear him say that shit at least once. And I talk shit about him. I crack jokes on him every time I see him. All type of jokes. I got jokes for days, because I'm not eating no booty. I'm not doing that. I ain't that mature yet. Maybe I'm too young. Maybe when I get older, I may change my mind. But as of right now, me and booty hoes don't get along. Feel me? So I crack a whole lot of jokes on my nigga. But he don't get no fuck. He him. And I fuck with him so much because of that fact. And anybody who crack jokes on him because of that shit, he don't get no fuck. He gonna still scream it. And he taught me that lesson, and I'll never forget it. And I will always appreciate him for that. That not caring and just loving you regardless of what a motherfucker think is what makes people want to accept you. Because it's like, nigga, a motherfucker see him, know he on it, like, bro, that's just what he do. They gonna accept you because you don't get no fuck. The shit don't work. The jokes don't work. If niggas was joking on him, he was like, man, all right, bro, still chill. Niggas keep joking on him, and then it will outcast him because motherfuckers that have something that they can collectively come together on and laugh at you about. Motherfuckers can collectively come together and laugh at him, but because he don't give a fuck, he'll laugh too. So you can't ostracize a nigga who first owns who he is, and second don't give a fuck if anybody else is the same way. And it's gonna be him regardless. You can't take him from the group because there is no group that he is a part of, and there is no group that you can take him from. He's just him. So that's the pathway to this shit. You want to feel real, you gotta feel real with you. You gotta be okay. You gotta be the group with certain things. You gotta be okay with being you. That's and oddly enough, which is so crazy, the weird thing about this shit is like, as soon as you kind of take up that mindset, everybody want to be around you. Everybody want to know what you're thinking. Everybody is curious about, you become the magnet to all the thing, for all that shit that you doing, all them ego-based things that you do to keep yourself feeling validated. By you just not giving a fuck and being yourself, you attract everything you was looking for. All the validation, and it don't even matter no more after you done did that. After you done finally stop giving a fuck, that shit don't even matter, and soon enough, now motherfuckers wondering what you thinking, what's important to you. You feel me? So that's the video I got for y'all, freaking people. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to get back in here and I'm about to walk real fast because, as I said before, it is cold as shit in this bitch. So I'm about to get to my room. You know what I'm saying? And cool off for the night, man. I appreciate y'all for watching. Y'all take care of yourselves, man. I'm out of here. Free game.